Hey there, Carnage Cravers. Welcome back to Carnage Corner. I am Ken Carnage, and it is time for This Week in Carnage. So, I thought a lot about how I wanted to start this particular video off because I was left with a decision whether or not I was going to kind of stick to my normal shtick, if you will, or whether or not I was going to, not be such an asshole and just not be such an asshole. And, ultimately, thanks to the counsel of a few people who told me that, you're an asshole, but come on, you don't joke about shit like that. So, while we're on the subject of that, I'm just going to go ahead and get into starting out talking about on Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns came out. He relinquished the Universal title because apparently the man has leukemia and is going to get treatments and whatnot, and obviously cannot, he can't wrestle and do that, completely out of left field. I didn't even know he had leukemia in the first place, but apparently, he had it 11 years ago. So, and that sucks, No, I don't particularly like the guy who's been crammed down our throats for a long ass freaking time, and I've said many times that I want him to just go away. I didn't really want him to be fighting for his life when he went away, though. Never wished ill on him, but I'll tell you what, and this might be considered an asshole comment, but WWE is going to get what they wanted because, should he come back, I doubt they're going to have anybody booing him. So, I guess, last laugh for WWE, but in all seriousness, you never want to really wish ill on someone unless they're Bret Hart. No, I'm kidding. So, that's going on. So now we have a vacant Universal title. And at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, it's going to be Braun versus Brock for the vacant title. And I still think Braun will win. Now, that being said, the Intercontinental Championship scene is rolling right along as well. Dolph Ziggler, of course, was the former Intercontinental Champion, and now he's also a former Raw Tag Team Champion, as him and Drew lost the tag team titles to Seth and Dean. Seth Rollins is still the Intercontinental Championship. Him and Dean, of course, as I just mentioned, picked up the Raw Tag Team titles on Monday Night Raw. They had the match in Roman's honor. They won. And then Dean Ambrose flipped his shit and beat the fuck out of Seth Rollins. And he left. He didn't even take the tag belt with him. He just left. And for all of you who are like, that's such a horrible time for a heel turn. That's the perfect fucking time for a heel turn because nobody saw it coming. Seriously, nobody saw that coming. He did it unexpectedly right after they won the tag team titles, left the belt behind. It's clearly showing that Dean doesn't give a fuck about the titles, doesn't give a fuck about the team. He is now out for himself, and I think there's a really good chance that Dean's going to be our next Intercontinental Champion, and I support that. Now, for those of you who are pissed off because they're using Roman's situation as window dressing or trimming for a storyline, let me stop you right there. Okay, Paul Bearer's death, we saw CM Punk dumping Paul's ashes on top of Undertaker. Was that in poor taste? You bet your ass. Would Paul Bearer have fucking loved it? You bet your ass. Alright? Eddie's death. Eddie's death is, I'm not to be insensitive, but Eddie's death is the only reason Rey Mysterio won the World Heavyweight Championship in the first place. Okay, Edge's career-ending injury, the only reason Christian won the World Heavyweight Championship. They used Scott Hall's fucking drinking problem in a storyline. They used they used Hawk's drinking problem in a storyline. They used Booker T's, criminal history, if you want to call it that. I mean, the guy robbed one Wendy's and went to jail. But they used that in a storyline. Now, like, WWE is adapt and overcome. This situation happened. All right, let's adapt to it and see how we can use it, because the show must go on. And that's the basis for it. And everybody who works for that company, who works in that industry, has the show must go on mindset. So let me put it to you like this. If Roman's not upset about it, which I'm about 95% sure he's not, why are you? So, moving on. As I said, Dolph and Drew are no longer the Raw Tag Team Champions, and Rollins and Ambrose are, but Ambrose left without the belt. I don't know if they're going to vacate the tag titles as well. They may. We'll have to see on Monday Night Raw. As far as who's going to be the next Raw Tag Team titles, can it be the Revival already? Put the tag belts on the Revival. We've been waiting for it. All right? Alexa Bliss, of course, is going to be teaming with Mickie James this Sunday. Is it Sunday? Yeah, it's Sunday. This Sunday against Trish Stratus and Lita at the first ever all-women's pay-per-view Evolution. So, and I'm going to backtrack for a second. They keep stressing the all-women's pay-per-view, all-women's pay-per-view. Since when did equality become about segregation? Like, what the fuck is that shit? Like, I personally, I think the fact that you had Sasha Banks and Charlotte main event Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in a Hell in a Cell match, and they actually main evented it because they were the last fucking match. Okay, the fact that you did that means more than you having a show where you only have women. Okay, that actually meant more because there were men on that card who were on the undercard to those women, because that highlighted what that feud was and what was expected in that match. Now, I had problems with that match, but I did not have, but that's, about the way that Sasha Banks worked and whatnot. So it's an entirely different situation than the fact of where it was placed. So I really think that, well, I mean, I'm just going to say it, and I don't mean to get political, but this whole Evolution pay-per-view, they're basically just trying to rope in more of your third-wave feminist viewers, which, and I got news for you. Those are people you're never going to please, WWE. Those are people, they're almost fucking militant in their hate for everybody who's not them. So, well, then again, you're doing business in Saudi Arabia, so... But anyways, I'm going to move on. Ronda Rousey is the Raw Women's Champion. She will be defending against Nikki Bella at the Evolution pay-per-view. And god damn it, I really, really, really hope that they don't have Nikki win. I think that the best case... I think that probably the best case scenario for Ronda winning the belt is it needs to be, it really needs to be a betrayal. I keep saying this. Now, if they could do something where, with Money in the Bank, where, Natalya wins Money in the Bank or something like that, or they have, the Money in the Bank needs to be involved in this, because it needs to be like super heel and super forgivable for Ronda to lose. It needs to be super explainable. And, if you have, you paint it like this, you wait till after Money in the Bank, have Ronda have a grueling, really taxing title defense, maybe against Nia Jax or somebody, somebody who could, manhandle Ronda a little bit and it'd be believable. And after she's won, she's celebrating, Natty will come down and celebrate with her, have Natalya fucking drop her. And then whoever's got the money in the bank can can cash in. And it's I know you're saying, hey, haven't I seen something like this before? You have. Because Alexa Bliss is with the Money in the Bank briefcase is how they managed to explain Ronda not getting the belt when she faced Nia for it. But first of all, you cannot have Nikki Bella beat Ronda Rousey. Like, you're just gonna ruin Ronda's credibility. Okay, Ronda is a credible badass. Nikki Bella couldn't fight her way out of a wet fucking sack. And, like, seriously, the Bellas are a relic of a time when you got hired by WWE based on your measurements. All right, and them talking about, oh, she's the longest reigning Divas champion of all time. Yeah, for two reasons. One, she's blowing John Cena. Two, they wanted to tell AJ Lee to go fuck herself. All right? Those are the only reasons. It was a fuck you to Phil and April, and, oh, well, let's use her. She's making John happy. I mean, what the fuck? So, as just the Bellas need to go away. John Cena and Daniel Bryan can go with them. I've fucking had it with these people. That being said, former WWE champion Jinder Mahal did big things this week. I'm assuming he ate, possibly drank. I'm sure he worked out. Probably did some steroids, but as far as actually in the wrestling ring, he has done jack shit, because, as I said last week, WWE already launched in India, and they no longer need to cater to that demographic. Which, funny story, technically the man is Canadian, but I digress. The WWE champion AJ Styles had a tag team match teaming with with Daniel Bryan against the Usos, again. And again, they lost. This time with AJ accidentally nailing Bryan. And then backstage, Bryan heavily implied that AJ was lying. Which, whatever. They're trying to make us care about AJ versus Daniel. And I can understand how some people might be, like, oh, well, this is going to be a great match, a great spectacle. Okay, it'll be an athletic spectacle for sure. There's no question. AJ's phenomenal, and Daniel, he is good in the ring. He's agile and and can do some impressive things. But that's not what makes a great match. What makes a great match is emotional investment. You need to make us care. We have no heel. And we don't... I mean, I can only speak for myself, really, but I would imagine there are many like me who, we don't care. There's no issue here. Besides the title. And sometimes it's not enough, And, and they don't have a lot of time before WWE Crown Jewel. If they had another few weeks, I would feel differently, because if they had another few weeks, they would have time to build something. I mean, they got one more week, WWE Crown Jewel is next Friday. They got one more SmackDown in order to create some sort of personal issue to make us care more about this match. And I don't think they're going to do it. And I don't think Daniel's going to win the WWE title at Crown Jewel. I certainly hope not. I think that, you can have The Miz fuck that up. But I think the WWE title needs to go on Miz. Miz needs to cause Daniel to fail. Miz then needs to manage to get the WWE title, because this is all more, again, if you want Daniel to be your babyface, if Daniel's going to be your good guy, this is what you do. He's got to be, fighting uphill, And I mean, I went into this in detail last week, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it this week. So, moving on, former United States champion Jeff Hardy returned to the ring just as Jeff Hardy, which that's a missed opportunity as far as I'm concerned. You should have done Willow or Nero or something to that effect, but they brought Jeff Hardy back. He had a one-on-one match with Randy Orton, which Orton won. They did the exact same spot that they did in their WWE Championship match back in 2008, where Jeff Hardy goes for the twist of fate and Orton overspins it into an RKO. It's a great spot, and only people who have been watching wrestling for a long time are going to recognize it. And I recognized it, and it was a nostalgia moment, and it was nice. Very nice. What's old is new again. Shinsuke Nakamura. I didn't see Shinsuke this week. I may have missed him, but I didn't see him this week, so I don't know. But Rey Mysterio, who I'm convinced is probably going to be our next United States champion. Rey Mysterio was on Miz TV. To talk about the World Cup in Crown Jewel. And, of course, Miz is insulting Ray, and Ray says, I'm disappointed. I thought I was going to be on Truth TV, that's funny. But, it's this World Cup. I'm unsure as to who they may have win the World Cup. And there are people online who are butthurt because they're like, hey, how is it a World Cup? Everybody's from the United States. Well, guys, first off, WWE is a United States company. They do have people from other countries that work for them, but, they're based in the U.S. It's a U.S. company, and the vast majority of their performers are from the U.S., okay? Even guys like, even guys like Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, I know he's, of Mexican descent, but he's an American. He's not a Mexican citizen, to the best of my knowledge. And then you got people like frickin', Daivari, Arya Daivari. He's not from Iran. He's from Minnesota. Like, you you know what? I'm tired of that. I'm not talking to the frickin' internet community. Well, I guess I am, because the internet community is probably who's going to watch this video. But you guys frustrate the shit out of me sometimes. Okay, just stop looking for shit to be mad about. But actually, you know what? Not for nothing. How good must your lives be that you gotta go looking for shit to be mad about? You guys must be very blessed. All right, so I'm gonna move on. The SmackDown Tag Team title picture. The New Day, of course, our former SmackDown Tag Team champions, are going to get enact their rematch clause at Crown Jewel against The Bar. This week we saw Kofi Kingston go one-on-one with The Big Show. That didn't end that well for Kofi. And of course, The Bar is the tag team champions, and I believe that The Bar will retain at Crown Jewel. I certainly hope that they will. And as far as who will be the next SmackDown Tag Team Champions, I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe the Bludgeon Brothers, because we haven't seen the Bludgeon Brothers since they lost the belts, and I don't believe they ever got their rematch clause. I could be wrong about that, but I don't believe they did, so they're definitely owed a rematch. So I don't know why they're out. I don't know what's going on with them, but when they come back, I do expect them to get their belts back and pick up where they left off. All right, the women's title on SmackDown, we had Charlotte got attacked by Becky at the Performance Center, which it's a nice touch. It's the storyline with Charlotte and Becky is one of the best ones they got going right now. And it's funny because people are like, why is everybody cheering for Becky? She's the bad guy. Well, they're cheering for Becky because Becky's telling the damn truth. Just because she's lost her patience and is, being a little dastardly doesn't actually mean that she's the person who is, she's not. You can't say she's 100% in the right because of her tactics, but at the same time, you also can't say she's 100% in the wrong because this is a situation where, she's had enough of this person who is fake and takes advantage of everything. Because obviously, we all know it's a work, it's a storyline, and it's one of the best ones they've got going right now. I do believe that at Evolution, Becky will retain. And I would like to see this belt make its way to Asuka. Becky needs to be done with Charlotte after Evolution and move on to working with some other people. In Cruiserweight land, Cedric Alexander has not been doing that hot since losing the Cruiserweight title. Buddy Murphy, of course, is the current Cruiserweight champion, and what's going to happen this upcoming week is we're going to get Mustafa Ali versus Tony Nese for the for number one contendership. As much as I like Tony Nese, and I do, I don't see him winning this match because it doesn't make much sense, really, for Murphy to face Nese. That's a heel versus heel match, and people generally care less about those than they do about babyface versus babyface matches. So I think that Ali is going to end up going on to face Buddy Murphy, and I should say I hope that Murphy is going to hold on to the belt for a while, that he's not going to lose it right away. But I think there is a good chance that Mustafa Ali will be our next Cruiserweight champion. I just think it might be a little while before he gets there. But I see him being the next Cruiserweight champion. But that being said, if they if they do this match in Saudi Arabia, we could see Ali win it as a way for them to try and pander to the local audience. Even though, again, Mustafa Ali is an American. Like, he's from Chicago, born and raised. He was a Chicago police officer. So aside from the fact that I would assume, because of his heritage, that he shares the same religion as those people, that's about it. It's not like he's a Saudi Arabian citizen. But again, it's semantics, and it's demographics, and it's stereotypes, which that's pro wrestling works. That they work that hold all day long. It's not just WWE; they do it everywhere. So I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. Going into NXT, Aleister Black showed up wanting to know. All he kept saying was, where is he, as he drops everybody who comes in his path, and he gets attacked from behind by Johnny Gargano. So apparently Johnny Gargano is the one who attacked Aleister Black. Wow. I feel like I called that. I'd have to go back and review my past videos, but I feel like I called that. So, that being said, the current NXT champion, Tommaso Ciampa, he gave a nice little promo there, basically telling William Regal, it don't fucking matter what you do, this, that, and the other. I'm not going anywhere. And of course, Velveteen Dream came out, and Lars Sullivan came out, and not for nothing, the Velveteen Dream is very talented and very entertaining, but if I got to put money on something, I would say Lars Sullivan is going to be our next NXT champion. Just because, I'll say this, Tommaso Ciampa beating Velveteen Dream is believable. Tommaso Ciampa, as much as I like the guy, him beating Lars Sullivan is not believable. Sorry, it's not. Seriously, Lars Sullivan looks like he could eat 3 Tommaso Ciampas. So, and I don't know. It wouldn't be believable for a guy who's like 205 pounds to have a dominant victory over a guy who is, a 340 pound, athletic powerhouse. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There is a way you can do it. It needs to be done a very specific way for it not to be stupid or silly. But I feel like Lars could use a run with that belt. And I think I'd like to see Tommaso move up. If you're not going to put him on 205 Live, which I could understand why you may not want to, considering the amount of heat he could generate. But that being said, he could be good for 205 Live if he can generate that type of heat. You put the Cruiserweight title on him, and you will have people talking. But I could also see him going to Raw and working for the Intercontinental Championship or to SmackDown working for the United States Championship. I don't see him in the WWE or the Universal title picture. And again, as much as I like the guy, I just don't see it in the current landscape. So, Adam Cole, of course, has a rematch coming up for the North American Championship against Ricochet. I believe Ricochet will retain. I have no reason to believe that they're going to put that belt back on Adam Cole. Personally, I think they're going to put it on EC3 eventually. Of course, they had EC3 and a clash with the Undisputed Era this week on NXT. And I would like to see EC3 get a little bit of gold. North American Championship makes the most sense. I personally would like to see that. So, the NXT Tag Team Championship picture, of course, Mustache Mountain, haven't seen them. Probably won't see them again unless I decide to watch NXT UK, which again, verdict's out on that. I love watching Pete Dunne, but he'd be probably the only reason I'd be watching the show, and it's adding another hour of viewing to my week and another, 4 titles to talk about and cover and this, that, and the third. WWE has a ton of programming, and I'm not hating them for it, but you just boil it down to the fact that you gotta. I'm at a point now I gotta be picky what I'm gonna watch because I don't have time to watch it all. The Undisputed Era, of course, is our tag team champions, and they, of course, a couple weeks back cheated to retain their NXT Tag Team Championships against the War Raiders. I see them going to have to put those titles on the line against the War Raiders again soon, and I believe the War Raiders will walk out with those belts probably at NXT War Games, especially if you put them in a steel cage where Bobby Fish and Adam Cole cannot get involved. In that scenario, I definitely see the War Raiders, I can't say that properly, War Raiders walking out with the NXT Tag Team Championships. In the women's division of NXT, Shayna Baszler has her rematch coming up at the Evolution pay-per-view. I do not see her getting that belt back. I see Kairi Sane hanging on to that belt for a while. Although I could be wrong, we've yet to have a 2-time NXT Women's Champion. It's bound to happen eventually. I just don't know if it will be with Baszler. Again, I asked last week, I will ask again, can we get that belt on Nikki Cross yet? Like, what the hell? Do something. If you ain't going to put the NXT belt on her, move her up to SmackDown to join the rest of Sanity and let her fucking terrorize the women's division there. Like, what the fuck? Can a crazy bitch get a title reign already? So, in other wrestling news, as I touched upon briefly earlier, it was Johnny Gargano who attacked Aleister Black. So now Gargano's a bad guy. But how bad of a guy is he? Because I'm sure he's still got his problems with Tommaso Ciampa, so it becomes a whole big complicated ball of wax, which is good. You don't want it to be too simple. Simple is good, but too simple is bad. You want some complexity to it. According to the scuttlebutt, Eva Marie wants to come back to WWE. I can see WWE passing on that one. Eva, it's not the era of WWE for someone like you. It's not and I don't mean to be mean, but it's no longer a case of, the marching orders is no longer only to hire tens. You're not, the women in WWE are no longer there just to be looked at and gawked at. And so it's just, you're not up to snuff at this point. You would have been a perfect fit in the, 2000s, 2000 to 2010 kind of thing. You would have been a perfect fit then. You're not a fit now. So, and then there is some other scuttlebutt of the Elite possibly coming to the WWE. I don't know about that one. It would be cool to, be able to see their work more accessibly. And, of course, the elite being the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes. I think Marty Squirrel's in there, too. I'm not sure. But here's the deal. The fact of the matter, I know it's crazy for some people to think about, but not everybody wants to go to the WWE. Some people have created a market for themselves and are doing well financially on the independent scene in Japan and Ring of Honor, and people like Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Those are the people who are probably pulling in the most amount of cash on the indie scene. Now, it's probably not the same amount of money they could make in the WWE. They could probably make more money in the WWE. But, as is, been talked about many times, they have less freedom. They pretty much have carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they want in the independent scene. In WWE, it wouldn't be like that. They're going to get handed a script. They're going to get told, to hit point A, B, C, pivot, pile, curtsy. And, I don't know if they're really going to want to do that. So this scuttlebutt may just be that. It may just be scuttlebutt. So real quick, into some movie stuff. There are rumors of 20 more Marvel films on the way. Like, what? What? I could see 2 more Black Panthers. I could see 2 more Doctor Stranges. And I could see 2 more Spider-Mans. Okay, that's 6. Maybe 1 more Guardians of the Galaxy. That's 7. What are you doing the other 13 films on? I mean, are you going to get to the point where you're doing, Iron Man 5, Tony shaves his mustache? Like, what the fuck? Like, you're getting to the point where you need to reset. You need to start over. Like, 20 more films? Oh, well, they'll probably do 3 Captain Marvel films, but, and maybe a few more Avengers. But seriously, you're playing it out. You're really playing it out. That being said, what the fuck do I know? The Aladdin teaser trailer. You guys managed to fit 4 songs from Aladdin into 1 teaser trailer. And, you didn't show us a whole hell of a lot except for Aladdin reaching for the lamp. I don't know. The verdict is out. I'm not exactly... I'm not looking forward to this in the least. Which is funny because as a child, my favorite Disney film was Aladdin, and maybe that's part of the reason why I'm not looking forward to this, because it's I don't really feel like this is necessary. I'm certainly not looking forward to Will Smith as the genie, and I don't know. I'm very meh about this whole thing. And the last piece of movie news we have is the Dark Phoenix trailer, which I've been very uninterested in this new cast of X-Men kids. I was not pleased with X-Men Apocalypse in the least. And now it's that they really have just completely thrown out their canon. Because they've already done Dark Phoenix and X-Men The Last Stand, but I don't know. I mean, they could explain this all away as the timeline getting screwed up thanks to Days to Future Past, but what the hell? What the hell? I don't even know where to frickin' begin on this. I mean, it looks like it'll be a spectacle, but I don't know. All right, quote of the week. And it's a good one. It is a good one. Oh. So, sorry. The quote of the week is, "You will suffer the pain of discipline, or you will suffer the pain of regret." Those are your choices. I am Ken Carnage. Carnage is right around the corner.